We had Governor Greg Abbott on the show last week, and I asked him, point blank, I said, so Governor, what are you allowed to do up to the limitations of the law? I want to know what you are allowed to do. And the reason I asked him that is because it has changed, and certain things that governors were allowed to do, there have been lawsuits filed, and so they're barred from doing it for a certain period until an appeal is heard, et cetera, et cetera. And this all began kicking off, and I bring this up quite a bit because this is really when it exploded, was under Obama-Biden with Jan Brewer, who's governor of Arizona. I mean, they were threatening to arrest her. So I was asking Governor Greg Abbott, what can you do as governor up to the limit of the law? And one of the things, he was saying, we're doing he's like, look, he goes, and he was like giving like up to the like absolute limit. And he's like, well, you can't shoot people who are trying to cross illegally because the administration would charge you with murder. And he's saying this as like, he's explaining to you like this is like the absolute almost absurdium level that you would go to. And the way that the media reported on this, they said, where's one of my headlines at? Greg Abbott laments that he can't shoot illegal immigrants, or he can't shoot migrants at the border. This is the first time they ever used that big word. Can you believe that? That's what they said. Let me read some of these headlines. It's crazy. All right, so it says shooting migrants would be murder. What about letting them drown? Because Border Patrol already said that never happened. You had Eric Swalwell who went out and he made up this story about, let me pull up his tweet. Adam Schiff. They're all the same. They're all the same schmuck. He says, Schiff tweeted, deliberately stopping Border Patrol from rescuing a mother and her 2 kids, resulting in preventable and senseless deaths, et cetera, et cetera. So they were blaming Abbott and Border Patrol. They said that they allowed a woman to drown in the Rio Grande. And that never happened. It literally, they acted like Border Patrol were there and ignored it. And Border Patrol, via Bill Malugin, said no, it was the Texas Military Department. They're aware of the social media posts concerning the drownings, and they're referencing. And it was Cuellar, too. Henry Cuellar also made this false claim. They said that Texas soldiers blocked Border Patrol from rescuing people at Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. And they said that the Texas Military Department observed a group of Mexican authorities responding to an incident on the Mexico side of the bank. They reported those observations to Border Patrol and Border Patrol independently confirmed that the Mexican authorities required no additional assistance. So somewhere from that, Henry Cuellar and Adam Schiff start saying that Border Patrol allowed a woman and children to die in the river, when they were actually working with Mexican authorities on the Mexico side of the way. Are Schiff and Cuellar arguing that our Border Patrol should cross over into Mexico illegally and usurp control from the Mexican authorities? That's literally what he's talking about. And they said at no point was the Texas Military Department or even Border Patrol made aware of the bodies in any park. I mean, this is asinine. So this is what they were putting out there. So now the media is just, they're trying to marry that together. They said, Greg Abbott brags that he wants to shoot migrants at the border. This was nonstop. His rhetoric is criticized after interview response about shooting migrants. All this over. I asked him a very simple question, and there was nothing wrong with his answer. But the media, and then you had others going, we saw it. There was another Democrat congressman that went out and said, remember when Border Patrol was whipping migrants at the border? Wasn't that already debunked? With the horse reins? That was already debunked. These people will stop at nothing. They just don't want to close the border. I mean, Abbott's line was, quote, the only thing that we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder. I mean, what is wrong with his statement? Kane? Does it sound like he said what the media is claiming that he said?
No, not at all. It's like me saying if, someone came into my house uninvited and I shot them, the police might charge me with murder. That's what? I mean, what's he saying that isn't factual?
Yeah. Yeah, it's NBC. The way that they're presenting it is that he's just stopping short of ordering Border Patrol to shoot people. That's how they're. Oh, and it's not just NBC, guys. ABC 7. KWTX, Mother Jones, Detroit News, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, everywhere. Now it's also in Mexican media, Austin American Statesman. It is everywhere. It's a narrative lie that they're trying to promote as truth.